Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We got Cardell Dudley Jr. here. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. Look, good news tonight. You guys read what's on the bottom screen. The Wizards hold off the Kings 109-102 for the win tonight. For a while there, not going to lie, kind of worried, especially at the end of the first half. We saw Washington do that thing where they build a double-digit lead, and then the opposing team erases it in negative 2 seconds. And this time, it was an 18-0 run in 2 of the last 3 minutes to close the first half. So when that happened, I'm sure I wasn't the only one. Cardell, you as well. You're thinking what's what we've been accustomed to most times this season. Oh man, another double-digit lead might blow us. But we saw them come out as encouraged by what they did in the second half, which they came out with a mature response. I think it was 11-2 run to start the second half. And then obviously, the Kings made their run, but we saw Washington make the necessary plays to win down the stretch. What do you think about their defense in this one, Carter?
It's one of the better defensive performances of the season, for sure. You got to give Rashawn Holmes a ton of credit, a ton. They don't win without it. And I know people want to look at the box score, monster rebounds, but they were like 6 points, 2 of 8. What did he do? He held Sabonis in check. Sabonis still had 14 and 6, but he was in foul trouble. He didn't play well. He didn't play his A-plus game. And then also the defense on De'Aaron Fox, man. You gotta give young fella, you gotta give young fella Butler. He played on that great Baylor team that was ferocious on defense. And he did a good job on De'Aaron Fox, man. De'Aaron Fox, yes, he had 21. He got going late in the fourth quarter, but my man was 10 for 30. He was very off, man. I think he missed his first 9 shots of the game, 5 for 15 threes, man. It's just he was totally out of rhythm, man. What kept Sacramento in this game, honestly, was turnovers. The turnovers. That the Wizards helped them, with turnovers, and that you gotta give that to mostly Rashawn Holmes. I mean, not Rashawn Holmes, but Kuz and Denny and Poole. And Butler had 4 as well, the primary ball handlers for the most part, man. I know De'Aaron Fox was trying to get it back on the defensive end. I think he had like 5 steals in the first half, something crazy like that, man. So, he knew he was also. He was trying to make up for it on the defense end, man. But the Wizards had 20 turnovers and the Kings scored 26 points off of them. If they cut that in half, so to speak, and you cut that point total in half, the Wizards blow them out. And this is one game where you could, as the season ends, I keep saying show signs of winning habits going into the summer, so the management, the front office can know who to keep, who to add, who to get rid of, and you starting to see certain guys separate themselves, and you start to see some winning habits, some winning attitude, at the end of the season, because they get easily mailing in every night. Like no one cares, what I'm saying? Like no one's expecting. Obviously this season been over, but the Kings are fighting for playoff position. They came here, everybody played, and they managed to serve on their home court and get a tough W. And they were challenged, and with the Kings making a run, and they were able to be tough, mentally tough, execute, and hold on for the win. You got to give the Wizards all the credit in the world, man. And this effort right here is all we was looking for coming into the season.
Facts. Like you said, I think it's perfectly well stated, and I think the thing that was painfully obvious tonight for anybody who questioned what importance Tyus Jones had to this roster. Them turnovers tonight. There's a reason this assist to turnover ratio was so crazy, and they struggled mightily tonight. And outside of that, they were really good offensively. We didn't see too many of the horrible possessions where they jacked up bad shots. I think one of the shot clock violations, you almost just had to give credit to the Kings versus it being what are the Wizards doing on offense, and where was the ball going, or somebody doing a little too much. Even with the 10 to 25 from threes, they didn't keep heisting them up. They kept attacking. I thought Corey did a good job tonight, among several other people getting run off the line and making the Kings pay for running them off the line. Like the play wasn't over just because he got run off the line. A lot of folks got downhill. A lot of folks got to the free throw line tonight. Meanwhile, for the Kings, you saw Malik Monk was able to kind of navigate and get to where he needed to go. But outside of that, like you mentioned, De'Aaron Fox, like I don't think there's any part of De'Aaron Fox that plan to come in tonight and go, I'm going to take 30 shots and 15 of them are going to be threes. They try to get the two-man game going at times with him and Sabonis, but Washington's guards did a good job just not giving up that clean cut, and you got to give him credit for that. You mentioned Jared Butler. I agree. Thought he was phenomenal tonight. They got good minutes from their bench as a group in this one, and as you mentioned, talking about Rashawn Holmes, it's deeper in the box score. I say that for most of the folks that came off the bench tonight, it's not going to show directly in the box score, their contributions. But, Anthony Gill having to step in for 18 minutes with Holmes being out. We know technically right now with Holmes, like, it's supposed to be Holmes, Bagley. It's supposed to be a couple bodies before you get to Gill. Gill had to come in and do what he had to do. And just even holding serve, or if not, just not letting Sabonis go crazy in those non-Holmes minutes, kept you afloat tonight. And they won on the glass. Oh, you're on mute.
I totally agree. They were efficient from the field. The Wizards scoring the ball, that always helps. And this is one of the few games of the season where, like you said, they didn't run to the three-point line to bail them out. And they, like I said, they were strong mentally. They stayed within the game plan, especially when the Kings made a run, which you expected them to do. I knew De'Aaron would somehow get going, and he's known for going crazy in the fourth quarter if you're not careful. You know what I mean? But I felt like the Kings more so played with less poise compared to the Wizards, and that's alarming in a sense where, they getting ready for the playoffs. But, this could just be a, misnomer where it's just one game. You know what I mean? Look, they took 39 threes. The Wizards took 25. Normally it's the other way around. And the Kings only made 11. You know what I'm saying? But here's the stat that I don't think people don't understand how good their defense was. Their defensive rating in this game was 102.7.
They got to frame that. I know that stops for the season, right?
It has to be.
Yeah, it has to be.
And none of the Kings' key players are out. None of that. No, you ain't play against like the no disrespect, the B team, the G League guys and stuff like that are coming up. And the Wizards did, and they managed to play, man. Like I said, man, like if you look up and down their roster of guys that played tonight, these are guys that came, from college, from winning. You know what I mean? And they starting to develop and get an opportunity late in the season, man. And that's what you want to see. That's what I'm saying. The young guys, this is your chance to develop, go into the summer, and really try to get some momentum heading into next season. That's how you have to do it. The reality is no free agents going to look to come here and save the day. They're going to have to build, the front office and, get them a case to keep you. And if they don't want you, you also making a case for another team to want you, or you'll be out the league. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I understand when people just, man, whatever, go through the motions. It's the league, man. You trying to keep a job. So a very impressive win considering who they was playing. And you got to give them all the respect in the world. And I like the fact that even though they shot efficiently from three, they didn't play hero ball, look for that to save the day when the Kings made the run.
And like you said, it was crazy. It was opposite of what we've seen most of the season. They were poised down the stretch. I thought at times like the Kings let go of the two-man game. They got off the two-man game a little too early, dumbing the ball down on Sabonis. I think sometimes they had the Wizards overreacting to him getting post touch, but then somebody took a jumper. I'm like, I could have probably ran that a little longer, but that's not Washington's problem. So credit to Washington for doing what they needed down the stretch.
34 points in the paint with the Kings having Sabonis, all NBA caliber big in the paint.
39 minutes. He was out there. Like you said, folks were available. They were out there. Coach Brown was looking for answers. We're trying to figure it out. All right, real quick, as always, we got player of the game.
Man, that's going to be tough. That's tough. But I was about to say, I'm gonna go with Kuz, man. 'Cause I feel like he set the tone. He was deadly efficient. 31, 6 and 5. They needed every bit of it. 13 and 22, 3 and 6 from three, which is great for him because he's usually one of the main culprits that will go to the 3-point line, look to save the day, whether he's on or not. But he stayed. He played a efficient brand of basketball tonight, and defensively. I don't, if people that didn't see the game, when they got the ball in Sabonis, he saw three bodies at all times, and they forced him into tough fadeaway shots. That's why I just feel like their defense won the game, and it kept the Kings from coming back to win the game. It got them the lead. They had a big lead in the first half. We knew the Kings were going to make a run. When they made a run, it held them at bay, and then their offense was just steady throughout the game. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to win.
No arguments there. I thought we saw the facilitator hat in the first half, and it was a little bit more being aggressive, being assertive offensively in the second half. It was a really, really, really complete game from him. All right, X Factor.
Yeah, Rashawn Holmes. It has to. Without his defense and the rebounds are a part of that, they don't win this game. Sabonis will go crazy.
Think about this second chance opportunity. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Talk about the rebounding. So not only win, but to keep them from getting as many second chance opportunities. Holmes was amazing tonight.
Yeah. Offensive rebounds. You know what I'm saying? He's had 16. So if he don't rebound, it's probably in the 30s somewhere at the end of the game, and it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? You can't say enough about that, and that's what I'm saying for the people that defense don't matter and all that, man. And you clearly haven't played sports. You clearly haven't played basketball because it definitely matters. Like your offense can come and go, but defense is the one part of the game where you can always bring it game in and game out. That's the most that aspect of the game is where you can be the most consistent. And you always give yourself a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? If you hold serve long enough, even if you start cold, you can wake up offensively. And if your defense has been on point, it gives you got a chance to come back and win the game.
Sometimes it's the best recipe for a cold offense. Get you some stops, get in transition, and next thing you know, a rhythm. Who knew? All right, get into some of these comments. Appreciate y'all as always, man. These comments was early. Starting off with Blizzy, baby. Good W tonight from the Wizards. It's a team effort. Game, nothing but positive vibes. Pretty much summing up what been shared so far. Love what the Wizards bench did too. 26 points from needed. Yeah, they needed everything from everybody tonight, man. The Kings are a good team. And like you say, Cardo, you want to talk about somebody who couldn't afford to take it. Like, nobody in the West can afford to take an L right now.
Not at all.
It's disgusting out there right now. So, again, shout out to the Wizards for getting this done. Dude stepped up tonight. Shout out to JB4. Talk about your man's Butler out there tonight.
Yeah, he brought it, Bailey. He's starting to find his way in the league, and I think that took time. He was more dynamic in college, so I felt like I'm pretty sure he came in the league like I'm gonna be dynamic in the league, and like, nah, I need you to be a consistent floor general, defend, and just hit open shots when you get them. And he had a couple tough ones in the game, like those layups and the transition. Yeah, he had some tough shots, man. So he's starting to figure out what he can be in the league, and sometimes that takes time, and I don't think people understand that. Every time you move up a level, it's a different role. You know what I'm saying? You can't play the same brand of basketball you might have did at the previous level, depending on the team makeup and depending on what part of your game translates to the next level. I mean, everything don't translate, bro. You could be the, like when you look, you could be dunking in college, you get to the league and layup king. There's some trees down there not having it. So it is what it is. It's an adjustment.
Like you said, he's talking about some of the tough layups he had. He had 2 corner threes. One in the first half was really contested, I think, by Davion. He knocked that down. Then late in the game, it was on the right corner, driving kick from Denny. That he hit, and they needed that. Like that was a run stopper. Sacramento was gaining ground. That was a nice little hold on Sacramento. Let us give us some breathing room real quick, and they needed those. But like you said, there's nothing better than watching the youngster find their spot. Find their foot in the league.
Absolutely, man. And just to piggyback on what you was talking about, how nasty it is out in the West with this loss, Sacramento in a 3-way tie with the Phoenix Suns and Dallas Mavericks. There's their 6th seed now, but they're in the 3-way tie currently, and Phoenix has got the 7th seed. Dallas has the 8th seed. So, yeah, a couple of losses, they could drop all the way to the 8th seed, you know what I'm saying? And you're in the play-in instead of being in the playoffs. So, playing extra games, trying to survive, man. And, yeah, man, you need every W. So this was a big win for the Wizards and a brutal loss for the Kings.
For sure. Area 11 too, what's going on? So Denny's really turning something scary with his efficiency and versatility tonight.
But man, he's comfortable. Got his contract next few years secured. He finding himself in the league too. He's finding out what he can be in the league too, and he's starting to mature. We've always said when Denny isn't in his own head, he balls. And you start to notice this season he's finally figured out, all right, I made a mistake, so what? Whereas in the past he make a mistake, man, you might lose him for a game or two. You know what I'm saying? And like, bro, it's too many games. You can't afford to keep losing you for 2 games at a time. And like, that's like half the season you gone, bro. Like that hurts. He needs you here. So what? You make a mistake. Who don't make mistakes? So, he's finally learned to just, have a short-term memory and just keep playing. Just keep playing hard. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I thought, we've seen that times this year. I think him and Kuz, I think, Poole's starting to find his way little by little. But I think the thing I've taken the most from this year is Denny and Kuz have figured out how to play off of each other.
Yeah.
And that is, what in terms of looking for positives in a tough year, they figured it out. Like even down the stretch there, we've seen where it's like, there's times where Kuz has it. All right, I'm facilitator. Hey, it's time. I'm facilitator. Or, hey, it's time for both of us. Get our big behinds downhill. Let's go make a mess. And they took turns tonight. We saw Denny. I forgot who. I think he had Harrison Barnes a couple of times. Had Harrison Barnes, who's not a tiny dude, getting downhill. Harrison Barnes either finishing or drawing all the attention in the world. And he can. He's a willing passer, making plays, kickouts, and whatnot. Like you said, we're old enough where we, it used to be this thing was common. Like it took folks 3-4 years to find their way. Nowadays, everybody wants everything instantly. So some of these dudes, they're technically on schedule from like the old ways of looking at it. It's just people that just warped with how they thinking. Like they're fine. It's okay that Denny's where he's at right now. Like it's okay. This is a good step. It is a positive thing.
But that's because of the new sports media debate everything. You know what I'm saying? Where they debate like they put a lot of BS out there, whereas everybody's supposed to be a star. If you're not a star, you're irrelevant, and that's not the case. That's right on cue, especially for like, say somebody like Denny who came over kind of early, like 18, like that. You know what I'm saying? Like in the league or something, so to speak. I mean, like Koulibaly, he's young, he's 18. They technically supposed to be, college freshmen. You see what I'm saying? And you ask them to put them in the best league in the world and figure it out, and no one's going to really hold your hand, even though they need it. So you need veterans to hold your hand and stuff like that and help you out with certain things. And that's a hit or miss, depending on what team. So, yes, it's going to take time. The mental part, the games, the wear and tear, newfound money, people popping up out of the woodworks bothering you, about, hey, this would be good for you when it's really good for them. You're dealing with all that. You have a bad game. Now all of a sudden you're the worst athlete in the history of mankind. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always that, man. So once you get to understand that, you just learn to just that none of that matters. Keep the main thing, and you just stay a professional. You just keep putting the work in, and you'll figure it out.
And again, just to wrap it up, like you've been saying, like the important thing is for Washington, you get, and this ties in with I think the next comment, but you're getting Denny's been able to give you kind of immediate return on your investment already. Right. Like it was a good investment already. Like you're seeing, all right, cool. Like during this stretch, whatever happens this year, you are fully capable of. I made a mistake. Who cares? We're not going to lose you. Like you'll make it back. Like you said, you'll make it back. You'll get it back next play, next possession, what have you. And he's been a pivotal part of, regardless of the results. Like again, you're finding out that him and Kuz play well together. They're figuring that out.
And what does that tell management? All right, we're good at the 4 spots. The wing, good at both 4. And we got a young Koulibaly who can play the 3 or 2. Mm-hmm. To learn from those guys and figure it out. They can help him grow quicker and everything as well. So we good there. got to show up the center spot. We got to get the like. What are you gonna do at point guard? Who's gonna be possibly the two? Is that gonna be Koulibaly? Is he gonna improve? Like they have some questions to answer, but at least they had some spots where it's like, are we good there? Let's look elsewhere. Where it's like they're looking at the roster like shit. Yeah, then goddamn, whew. We need something. Let's just wish. We wish. Let's hope something work out.
And that's a much better feeling of going into it's a much better feeling of after when you talk about a rebuild, regardless of sport, is finding the things that are constant or can be constant, that can be pillars, the things that you'd be like, all right, cool, that could be here, we can work around that. That, like you said, is something we don't have to worry about. We got 2 6'9", 6'10" dudes in the wing where they're interchangeable, and we're okay with that. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I just had the last question up, so go ahead. If you were about to say something else.
And they should consult like Kuz and Denny, the upper management. Like, who do y'all think will be in the draft, depending on where they finish? Let's say they get the first pick. What position do they feel they need to, need to avoid the most? Because they're out there too. Consult them, and they should help navigate things and stuff like that. And they say center, and you look at bigs. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. They say, man, we need another playmaker. Start looking at some guards. They could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I'm saying is there is hope. It's not dire. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel like, no disrespect, a couple years ago when Bill had that big contract and they strapped, and because they can't go and really, they only have money to get something. You know what I'm saying? They just stuck. It's like, what are y'all gonna do? So they actually have some light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, where if they make the right moves, draft the right people, get right in, they can make a change quicker than what people think.
Like you said, the key part about it was that other situation, no flexibility.
Yeah.
This one, man, you can move. Like, I'm not talking about anybody specifically, but you're not forced to do anything. And like you said, the good thing is you possibly got 2 dudes you're comfortable with. You got the dude that you already drafted. Even if that's 3 dudes in this league, having 3 people figured out, especially if it might be guard, wing, like, right, you're okay. Life's like you said, life's gonna be all right. Last fun question, honor of March Madness. Who on this team would you like to have seen play in the tournament that didn't, I guess?
Who didn't? On the Wizards that didn't play in the tournament. Probably Kuz. Did Kuz play in that tournament? Did Utah play in that tournament?
I will try to check for you right now.
Gill was at VA, Virginia, so they definitely was in it. Johnny Davis was in it. Butler won the national championship. Poole was in it. Then he was overseas. Kispert lost in the national championship to Butler and those guys. But Rashawn Holmes, I think he went to Bowling Green, so I don't think he was in it. I'm pretty sure he was dunking on anything that moved. So, if Utah didn't go there, Kuz for sure. I seen this college highlights. He was getting to it.
Yeah, I'd probably say Kuz, and then obviously in an alternate universe, probably would have been fun to watch Bilal in college, but he was a pro, so.
Yeah, probably Denny too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, or Denny too. But those guys took the alternative route, so it is what it is. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll check back in with you guys Saturday. After they take on Miami. I believe on Saturday, take on Miami on Saturday. So we'll check in with you guys that. Then remember, it's a later start, so we'll be talking to you, probably 20 or 30 minutes from now. In 48 hours, y'all have a great night.